Hello and welcome. I hope you're safe and well. In today's exciting episode, I finished 2 jackets. Well, I haven't done the silk lining yet, but I have finished beading both of these.
It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect jacket.
Whoopsie, forgot to say it's a sewing vlog. It's going to be on the thumbnail anyway. So I had this jacket here and I had some leftover beads and I did the underarms and the undersleeves, and then I was going to do a camouflage triangle on the back, and I also had to finish doing a row of the pink beads as well, the pink seed beads. The tiny ones are called seed beads. So I finally got around to doing that. And that's what I'll give you a little catch up on the Tempest jacket as well, because that is done now too. Just waiting for their silk lining. Anyway, so this is the triangle, and as I said, it's camouflage. So I basically just put double the amount of beads, but I didn't take any of the cream or pink ones off. I just added more green, so you can't really see it. Oh, and this is the beads that I've been using this whole time. So I know it's sort of, you can't really tell where the beads are, but they are there. And yeah, you can't really tell where the triangle is either, but it's there. And I don't know, I just felt like, because this jacket was supposed to be it's Chanel style jacket, obviously, but it's supposed to evoke the look of or the feel of a vintage knit, where they sort of stitch the pattern into the jumper or the knitted sweater. And yeah, so I did that with all my beading, and then I was like, no, actually I want a triangle on there as well. So yeah, I guess you can't really see it, but that was my intention. At least I'm saying it. No, it really was my intention. I could have made it more obvious by taking off the cream beads within the triangle section and replacing them with green. But I don't know, I really like it the way it is. It's so subtle and I love it. I felt like it might look a little too try hard if I made it more obvious than that. So that's why I ended up keeping it that way. And this is me just remembering. So I'm like, I've got to show you the under sleeves as well, because I finally got around to doing them. So this is the front side and back look at the vintage knits. I have been working on this. I think I made the jacket during Vlogmas. So in December, when you make a video each day, I think one day was me making this and pat matching it, and then for the first quarter of the year, I did most of the beading, just a little bit at a time. And then, I finally did the undersleeves, the last bit of the beading, and added the triangle. The triangle is most definitely my favourite bit. Oh, and I have pinned up the cuffs of the sleeves, so this will be their actual length. But I haven't actually stitched them up yet. And this is me wondering whether I missed a row of beading, but I didn't. It's been a while since I worked on this jacket. I was like, what's it supposed to look like again? What's the design? But yeah, that's the problem with these really intricate designs. You're like, is it right? Have I done it correct? But yes, it's there are some bits that aren't exactly mirror images on either side, because I was literally just using up beads, and I had 5 barrel beads instead of 6, so, and then I had a round one instead of a barrel bead. So yeah, but all up, I'm very, very happy with it. I really think it looks like a vintage knit. Anyway, after I've shown you these 2 jackets, I will show you other jackets that I'm going to make and other dresses that I'm going to make. But anyway, this is the Mediterranean one. So first I made at the start of the month, I made the jacket out of this gorgeous Lesage style tweed. And then I beaded it and I was like, actually no. So then I took off the bits along the rib cage and replaced them, so it was all matchy across. And then I did the top 3 rows, which took forever. And I've got these gorgeous little dangly, hanging down beads that sort of look like absolutely gorgeous earrings or something. They're just so cool. It's a technique I haven't really used before, so I'm going to use it in, I don't know, I'm thinking of I've got loads of jackets yet to bead, so I think I might get some of them out and decide which ones. Anyway, so after I decided that beading was too heavy, I took it all off very, very carefully. And then I redid the beading, just sort of one bead per square, like the dragonfly jacket. And this is the last time you saw it, there was like a quarter of one sleeve to go, and now she's finished. So that's it from the back, this is it from the side. And the sort of goal was that you would still see what the tweed looked like, but it would sort of just be elevated by the beading. So the beading matches the tweed underneath. So in the white sections, there's creamy white beads or clear beads. And in the decorated fabric section, in the sort of sea colours, the rust and like the brown and the teal, I matched those ones as well. So yeah, I really love it. It was such a labour of love, or I'm not sure love's the right word, but it was an absolute labour to get it done. But it's got some amazing beads on there, and I'm really, really happy with the way that it turned out. So now I just have to make the silk for the lining and then hand stitch it in. So there's a little ways to go, but she's looking beautiful. I love it. There are a few beads that are maybe a little bit too big, but I'm like, no. It's perfectly imperfect. I love it. I mean, it's the Tempest. It's supposed to be a little bit, chaos abounds. And it definitely is. But I love it. I love the way that it turned out. I love both of them. They're so very different. But, I mean, they're based on the exact same jacket pattern. But, yeah, they're really... And I guess there's both... If you look at it, they're both beads just going all the way around the jacket in matching rows. So I guess there is that. But in my mind, they're very different. And yeah. So anyway, I was going to make a jacket today, but I ended up finishing the vintage knit jacket instead. Plus, when you make a jacket, you have to have a clean workbench so you can actually cut everything out. And I had this massive pile in the corner, and I ended up finding all these fabrics. So the Amelie dress that I just put aside all like 6 or 7 fabrics to go in one mega maxi dress, but I've decided these two I can turn into jackets. One's going to be a Chanel style jacket, and one's going to be a summer jacket that will match those pink and red and white ones. And then the other fabrics I'll make a dress out of. I kind of gave up having movie as a theme per month for the last month or two, but I think I might go back to it because I absolutely love Amelie. And yeah, these are the other fabrics. So there's... if you combine all the ones that I found, there's enough for 2 dresses. So I guess these two... I'm not sure. I think I could get more creative than that. So we'll see. Anyway, and this is the one I'm going to make the Chanel style jacket out of. I'm thinking of maybe using teal pearls on it because I just happened to, I was putting away some beads and I saw some tweed glass pearl beads, and I was like, oh, okay. So these are some of the dresses, because Amelie is such a good movie. If you've never seen it, you absolutely have to. It is so good. What I love about it is most rom-coms are, so yes, her signature colours are pink and red and green. So I thought I'd do a month where I do just red and green, and obviously pink is a diluted version of red, and I don't really wear red at all, so yeah, I thought I might do some red, but also mainly green and pink. Anyway, so yeah, I love it because and that's her father's the garden gnome from his... She steals it and she gives it to her air hostess friend who takes it around the world and takes photos at all these famous places. It's so funny. Anyway, yeah, I just like it because it's a rom-com, but no one's really toxic in it. In American movies, you've got Mail, she owns a bookstore and he's a billionaire's son who's just got a job making the first bookstore in the first mega bookstore in New York City, and so he puts her out of business. And then meanwhile, and they've both been corresponding online, and so in real life, we establish that they can't stand each other, but then online, they fall in love and they decide to meet, and he realizes it's her, and he doesn't come clean. He just walks away. And and so then there's this whole section where he's got her to lose her business. And and he's tricking her basically. And then she just falls in love with him. Like, what is with that? I know the message is women have to compromise all the time, but come on. Like, this is what we're supposed to watch for entertainment. Anyway, rant over. So Amelie's really cute because it's just two, like, they're slightly weird, but they both seem to be weird in the same way. And they, like, decide they like each other, and then they, ride off into the sunset together. I think it's cute. Anyway, so this is the jacket I'm going to do next, because I haven't made that Vogue 7975 in a while. And I've had quite a few people ask if I can just do a simple jacket, like the most basic way of making a jacket, so people who are making the jacket for a first time can follow it easily. So I think I'll do that one, and then I'll do another more complicated one, and then after that I might do the super easy Berta 6123, because that's another relatively simple one that turns out quite nicely. And this is me just showing you all the beads I have left on my desk. So I scooched all the stuff that was on either side of my workbench that I'd got out, because I was using bits of them. And these ones I had them in jars, so I'm tipping them back into bags. Oh my gosh, the amount of junk I got out. Oh, and then I remembered that in Amelie, two of the characters work in a grocery store, but it's got lots of fruit and vegetables in there. So I was like, oh, actually, I've got 1,000 of these little pineapple. I mean, that whole bag there is 1,000. I feel like it doesn't look like 1,000, but apparently it is. And and I've got my little bok choys as well. They're handmade glass beads, and I've only got like a handful of them, but I could use them on something if I'm going to, And I've also got these ones. They're like, if you saw the green Italian tweed jacket that I put red beads on, I used the watermelon, some of the apples and the strawberries, and two different types of watermelons on that. But I've also got pineapple and the nashi, cut in half nashi apple pears, and then I've got oranges, and I've got like Jonathan the apples that are half gold, half red, and then I've got flowers as well, the little tulip ones in a couple of different colours. So I don't know, I really like that vintage. I've got more of those strawberries. I remember them because I got out my strawberry jacket last episode and I showed you that. So so I might, and I've also got cherries. I had to go digging for these ones. So in Amelie, when they introduce a new character, they tell you 5 things that the character likes. So she likes putting raspberries on her fingers and eating them, feeling her hands in the seeds, cracking creme brulee, skimming rocks, and wearing when she was a kid, she liked to wear cherries as earrings, and I did that when I was a little kid too. And so that I have that cherry fabric, but I also have these cherries. They're like necklace things for kids, like necklace pendants. And I also have some apple ones, but I don't know, they look like tomatoes to me. But anyway, so I thought I could like supplement, because I don't have that many cherries, but I do have some other ones. So I don't know, I thought I have that cherry fabric and I'm going to make a jacket out of that. So I'll be using the shell method, where I make the shell and then drape that over the top. So I'll be using that method for this jacket. And then once I've made the jacket, I'm going to put sequins over the beige bit, the creamy beige bit. I'm going to add loads of cream and beige sequins over there. So and then I thought maybe I could hang, instead of putting fringe around the bottom of the jacket, I could add the cherries. But I don't know, I think that's trying to cram too many genres into one jacket. We'll see. Once the sequining is done, I suppose I could use red sequins and that would make it fit better. Like the cherries would mesh well if I used green and or red. But I don't know, I kind of want to use beige, silver and cream for that one. Anyway, I also have red wool to make a jacket out of, so I guess I could just make the red jacket and then do a beaded trim. Like, I haven't done a beaded trim in, gosh, I think it's got to be years. I think the last one I did was that grey Linton tweed, and I made the grey matching trim for it. So yeah, that was definitely a couple of years ago. So I could do that. It's just a very different technique. And yeah, once you've made the trim, you then have to stitch it on to the jacket, which is technically very demanding. So that's why I ended up just changing my mind and going with embellished jackets, which is where you bead straight onto the jacket. And I got these two out because I love that vintage knit one, and I kind of want to do, I'm thinking maybe a fruit and vegetable one. I feel like you can't really see the bok choys on the green, so I might have to use the beigey cream coloured one because they look fabulous on that. So yeah, I'd basically just use a neon thread and measure all the lines around and measure matching lines on the sleeves, and then go along and stitch all the like the bok choys on one line and the fruits on another line and the tulips on another line, sort of thing. So that would be cute. I might do that. I'm not sure that it's terribly, I mean, those two characters do play a major role in the movie, so plus it would be fun. I'm not sure if the strawberries match with that one because they're a bit bigger than the other stuff. Anyway, so the next jacket I'm doing is the brown sequin one, and that's going to have flowers in purple, brown and orange. There's a whole story behind that one, but I guess I'll tell you when I make I don't know when I'll have time to do the beading. It's got to be collars and cuff beading, but like quite significant, like the green Gucci jacket that has gold on it, but it's also going to have matching work on the cuffs as well. So speaking of collar and cuffs, I have decided to take the plunge, and I'm going to carefully take off these teal coloured or petrol finish glass beads because I absolutely love the red triangle on the back, but I just don't feel like the collar and cuff beading meshes well with the back of it. So I'm going to rebead it, and it's sort of going to be halfway between these two. It's not going to be tiny, tiny beads, but it's not going to be big beads and loads of it either. It's going to be more like the Italian tweed in the denim colour that's got the green triangle on the back, sort of, a little bit. And this is me reminding myself that I've still got a little bit of hand sewing to do on about 5 of those things, but I'll do that off camera. So next episode will be the Vogue 7975 jacket, and then the last one for this month will be a Ray of Sunshine, and I will be making a yellow dress in lots of different yellow fabrics, which will be, yeah, I feel like the world is very bleak at the moment, so when there is no sunshine and when there are no blue skies, you have to be the sunshine. So I'm going to make a yellow maxi dress. Oh, and I'm trying to think of the 5 things that I like that define me as a person. And I just can't, I don't know. I'm like, well, yeah, I can't decide. So if you know what your 5 things are, let me know. But I don't know. I like to think I'm slightly more complicated, but I can't even think of one. I mean, I like Vegemite on toast. I like roast dinners. I like watermelon. I don't know. I'm not sure any of those one things defines me though. Anyway, I'm so glad that I beaded these jackets. I like reading, I like gardening, but they just seem very generic. It's supposed to be 5 things that instantly tell the audience. Well, maybe it's because I'm not a fictional character. It's supposed to be 5 things that tell the audience who you are. Maybe Jane Austen, Shakespeare, Cervantes, Proust, and so that's 4. And beaded jackets. Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Oh, colours. Colours. Absolutely colour. I love colour. But I don't really, I don't see how that's a defining feature or defining characteristic. Anyway, that can be my homework. That can be everyone's homework before next episode. Well, it's before next month. I've still got 2 more episodes to make. Okay, I'm going to go tidy my workbench and then, look at these 2. They're so darn good looking. These 2 jackets took so much time and work. They're amazing. So awesome. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope it wasn't too boring. Me staring at my own work going, wow, I finished it finally after months and months. Anyway, thanks again. I hope you're having a lovely long weekend and happy sewing. Or playing around with all your fabric stash. Whatever. Mixing and matching fabrics is so much fun. Ooh, that could be one of my 5 things. Okay, really going now. Bye.